All right, let's get our next question up here. Cole Matlock is asking, is the book of Revelations written in chronological order of how the events will happen?
And yeah, so basically, Cole Matlock, I would say, no, it's not written chronologically. Like I said, just like the book of Daniel, like there's Daniel 2, which gives you an outline, and then Daniel 7, it goes into further detail, and it just keeps building. It repeats and enlarges, and it gives different details. Every single prophecy in Daniel kind of repeats with a different detail for basically, like I would say, a different audience or a different type of thing. Like in Daniel 8, it's more of detail as far as how it relates to God's people, and it has more sanctuary language. Whereas chapter 7 is just kind of like the nature of these nations and how they're going to behave, and then like 11 is these big details. Same thing with Revelation. When you look at, like I said, chapters 2 and 3, it's more the state of the church, what's going to happen in the church. And then when it comes to the seven seals, it's talking about historical events. When it talks about the seven trumpets, it's talking about, bad things, basically catastrophe. Judgments, exactly. And, the seven last plagues, obviously that's all judgment but that only happens at the end of time. So, it's different types of things that are happening, and the Bible's repeating and enlarging. So no, it's not chronological. It kind of goes back and repeats, just so that you get an idea of because, history, there's always a lot of things going on in the world at the same time. Like right now in the United States, we're blessed, things are pretty good. Thank God we have freedom, and, we're not in a state of, terrible persecution in this country. But if you go to other countries, people are in danger of losing their lives for being a Christian. And, it just depends where you're at in the world and what's kind of going on. So that's just something to keep in mind, just that. And there's different people. There's God's people that are doing things right now. And then there's the devil and his people that are doing things in the world right now. So the Bible's always kind of showing, different aspects of what's going on at the same time. You kind of see that, when you just even look at the story of the Gospels, the four Gospels tell the same story of Jesus, but from different angles. So that's kind of, if you want to think of it that way, the book of Revelation is showing different aspects of history that are both happening at the same time, but kind of going back and repeating. So no, it's not chronological from chapter 1 to chapter 22, but there are, when it goes through those, like the seven churches, the seven seals, the seven trumpets, those are chronological, but not, it's not the churches, then the seals, those can be happening at the same time.
I like your comparison to the Gospels, where the same thing's being repeated, reiterated, or maybe from different perspectives for different times. I was going to say the way I look at it is like the movie Magnolia. Did you see that? It's from way back in the day, but it followed maybe 7 different storylines, and it's constantly cutting back and forth between different people, different perspectives, and you might have the same point in time, but then cut through it from 7 different perspectives. And then maybe you go to another point in time, cut through that 7 different perspectives. So yeah, Revelation is always important to, whenever you get into something that there's 7 of something, identify, okay, what's this group? What is it focusing on? What is the common theme of these 7 things? Because that the number 7 means completion or perfection, or, like the week. Why are there 7 days in the week? Well, the 7th day is the completion of the week.
And there's nothing in nature to point to a 7-day week. It's just established by God at creation, and it's stuck, and it's never really been changed. I mean, I know the French Revolution tried to change it to a 10-day week, and they went back, but the world never accepted it. And I think that's such a huge thing that points to, hey, the God of the Bible is our creator, because there's things that occur that are only based on what God said, and the systems that he implemented, like marriage and things like that. So yeah, I totally agree with you on that.